Hi, today we're talking about how to convert a Notion form into PDF documents. So, in the background, as you can see, I have got an allegation form. So, if anyone has any allegations for anything, they can fill out this particular form, and once they click on submit, the responses go to the responses tab in the background. So, here I have already created two submissions from the particular form. What I want is an automation setup wherein I can create PDF files out of the submissions that I receive. For this, I will be using a tool known as PDF Output. PDF Output is a tool that will help you create PDF documents from Google Document with the help of a Notion database. So let us understand how this will work. I will simply click on Create PDF and I will continue with one of my existing Google account for this setup. So let me choose one of my account from this list. And once I sign in, I will be able to create an automation setup, which will be looking over here. So I have currently signed in and you can see straight away it needs two things, that is the Notion database and the document. The database will contain the list of all the submissions and the document will act as the template file which will help us create the PDFs. Out of that, we will get the properties of the database over here, which we can map onto the Google document on the left and create the PDFs on automation. So let me click on the drop down and let me click on add Notion database. This will create the additional setup which wherein we need to add the Notion database. Let me copy the database title from here. So I will simply copy the title that we have over here. Go back to the setup, click on next. We have two options. Either I can choose a default template. So if you go with the first option, you will be provided a demo database which you can use for the testing purpose. But I do not need the demo database over here. What I need is I want to add my own database over in the selection. So I will click on select pages, then again I will click on select pages. Now this will allow me to add the database inside the search pages field. Okay. So let me copy the database title once again. So I will copy the title, go back to the selection screen. I'll put the title inside search pages over here. Okay. As soon as I put the title, you will be able to see the form pop up over here. Let me click on this and the allegation form is now added. Okay. And if you click on the drop down, you will be able to see the form appear over here. The best way to add a database is always copy the title of the database and put it inside the search pages. This will accurately add your database correctly. Do not add the database by selecting these top level pages because it requires a time to fetch the database and the experience may not be smooth. So my recommendation to you is always add the database through search pages field over here. Besides this, if your database contains any relational databases added over here, so let's say you have relation and roller properties inside the main database, you need to also add the relational databases over here in the search pages. So make sure you add the main database which we have over here. Alongside this, you also need to add all the relational databases which are connected to the main database. So thus, always ensure you add the primary database as well as all connected databases through search pages. Otherwise, the relational and the roller properties will not appear in the PDF files. Okay. So we have considered that thing. Let's click on allow access. Now this will give access to the allegation form database inside the PDF output tool. Sometimes it will not load the database. It requires refreshing the web page 2 to 3 times because it takes a while to load the database. So you can just refresh once or twice and you will be able to see the database. So currently it is still not appearing. Let me refresh it once again and we will be soon getting that database connected over here. Okay. So let me try once again. This time it will surely appear. You can see allegation form is showing up. Okay. So if you're not able to see your database, just make sure you refresh it once or twice and you will find the database appear over here. And once we have the database, if you scroll down, you will be able to see all the properties of the Notion database are visible over here, one below the other. Whatever properties we have created over here, they are all visible inside this mapping section, which we can see over here. Next is we need to add the document for our use case. So click on add Google document. We can go with an existing document which we have on a drive, but since I do not have any existing document, so if you click on existing document, it will ask you to select any document that you might have on your drive, which you can select from the drop down and you can proceed further. But I do not have any such documents. I'll click on add demo document. It will create me a demo document which I can use for this automation setup. Okay. So my document is being created. Let me wait for a few seconds and let me remove this part which I do not need. And now I have the entire mapping already done beforehand. Okay, so let me also rename this part. So this is going to be my allegation template, and you can see all the fields that I need to be mapped are automatically created over here. So I have complaint message, first name, last name. All the fields that you already see over here are automatically mapped inside double curly brackets. So what it did was it automatically created all the fields within double curly brackets over here. And when the PDFs will be created, these fields will be fetched from the database one after the other, and the PDF files will be generated out of it. Okay. So this creates an automatic mapping for you when you go with the demo template. If you still want to map more fields, so let's say I want to still map subject. So I'll just click copy on the subject. I can go anywhere in the document and I can simply paste it. Okay. So I'll use Control V or Command V on my keyboard, which will help me paste the property onto the document. Okay. So you can paste any property as per your choice, go to the document and simply paste it. That is what you need to do over here. Now let me remove this as I do not need it. And now it's time to download the PDF. But before that, we need to understand two things. First is PDF file name. Okay, so I want to generate the PDF file as per the first name of the applicant who is putting the allegation. So we have the first name over here. The files will be created as per the first name. Okay, and if you go back to this form, allegation form responses on the right side, you will find two columns. One is generate PDF, one is PDF file. Generate PDF is marked as ready to generate. So if anything is marked as ready to generate, the files will be processed for those particular records and the files will be stored over here in the PDF file section. Okay. So make sure you're marking the records as ready to generate whenever you are creating this. Now let's go back and let me click on download PDF, and now my files will be downloaded and stored on the responses view over here in the PDF file section. So you can see the first file is already out and it is already completed and the file is already stored. So let me click on this, and once I click on this, you will be able to see that all the mappings have been correctly done which we needed, and the PDF file was created out of this. Let's go with the second record. So second record also has all the mappings intact, and you can see both the files have been mapped correctly with the database and all the things have been created as it is required. So this creates the PDFs quickly with all the proper mappings being done. But the best part is yet to be shown. So if you scroll down, you have this option of set up Notion automation. If you click on this, your document is automated forever. Okay, so now you do not need to go back to PDF output to create the PDFs like how we did now. All we need to do is just go back to the allegation form or whatever responses you have, add a new page with the responses, and simply click on ready to generate. Your file will automatically be created right inside here in the PDF file section. So now whenever a user would submit this entire form and they click on submit, and you get a response over here, all you need to do is mark it to ready to generate. The PDF file will automatically be processed and it will be stored over here. Okay, so this creates a hands-free automation wherein you do not need to jump between PDF output and the tool and the database to create the PDF. So now you do not need to come back to PDF output. All you need to do is add additional records from the responses which is coming. Simply turn it to ready to generate, and the record will automatically be converted into PDF and stored right over here. I hope this entire explanation was helpful to you. If you still have questions, go to the chat bubble at the bottom, send me a message with your queries, or else you can directly use this contact window at the bottom of the page, wherein you can send me your message with the issues. I'll be able to take up any issues on this. Okay. Besides this, you also have an option of booking a free demo. If you want to have a free demo, just click on this, and I will help have a free demo for you to understand the tool further. Okay. So you can see currently it has started processing the file, and the file has already been completed and saved as a PDF over here right when we're discussing this.